Hello again. We are at the very end of the Rolent chunk for Chapter 5. We just finished up all of the side quests in Rolent, and we are about to head on the airship to go over to Bose. Hey Estelle, heading out already? You just came home. Sure you can't stay around for a while? Yeah, sorry. There's kind of a lot going on. Once our current job's done, I totally intend to come back and take a load off for a while. You really should. We'll be waiting. Anyway, your tickets have already been paid for by Ina. Ready to check in? We're done. Let's go. I'll give the Guildhouse a ring and call the other members of your team. Oh yeah, I abandoned like half of them. Wow, nobody's gonna stop me before I get on the ship this time? Oh, this will be important. I see. So now we have a gospel influencing people's minds, using the fog's particulate matter as a medium to exert mental control over a large area. Well, that settles one question at least. Excuse me, Professor. Cassius. You old dog, good timing. Escaped Lyston, did you? Yes, I finally managed to finish a bit of work. I thought I would stop by and see how you're holding up. What's this? A report from your granddaughter? Yes, just arrived express from Rolent. Thanks to Tita's report, I'm quite certain of my theory now. About the gospel, I'm assuming? Yes, though it's ultimately still a hypothesis at this point. I've gone over it again and again, both on paper and with the Capel though, so I'm reasonably sure of this. Shall I go over it? Absolutely. Right then. So, what we've been calling the Gospel's orbital shutdown phenomenon. Tell me, what do you think it is based on what you've seen and heard? It's an effect that occurs to any orbital device located near an active Gospel, chaining from one device to another, and it renders these devices inert while a Gospel is active. That's how it seems to me, at least. Half right, half wrong. What you're describing is closer to the orbital art anticept. That shorts out the internal quartz circuits of an orbment to temporarily suspend its functionality. This phenomenon generated by Gospel, however, is fundamentally different. It steals all the orbital energy formed in an orbment down to the very last joule. So it's more of an orbital absorption phenomenon then. Yes, to make a comparison to a combustion engine, it's like siphoning out the petrol. But wait. Unless I badly misunderstand physics, that means the Gospel should absorb and store all that power, correct? Good eye, lad. You've noticed a very important fact. So I've measured a Gospel after it absorbs energy, but the Gospel does not actually hold any of it. Not even a single EP's worth. Is it possible the energy is being vented into the wider environment? No, not at all. The energy disappears. Completely. Utterly. And quite impossibly thanks to thermodynamics. Furthermore, these new Gospels Estelle's group has been encountering, every time they're encountered, they cause unbelievable phenomena that even our best orbital engineering can't explain. It's unclear how they're causing such effects, but I can say one thing with confidence, and that is, they're too small. I can say with absolute certainty that any device enabling such massive effects could not fit into the palm of one's hand. Even if the Society somehow possesses technology centuries ahead of our own, nothing that small could contain that much potential energy. I think I'm starting to see where this is going. You're saying the Gospels must be terminals then? Access points of some sort? Exactly. The only function the Gospel unit itself has is an ability to manifest an abnormal warp in a local orbital field. The warp then resonates with any local orbital devices, expands, and draws energy from the devices. The energy then disappears through the warp. Well, no, it does not disappear. It is sent elsewhere. And whatever is located elsewhere is capable of causing the impossible effects we've seen. You know, I hope I'm misunderstanding this. I'm afraid you get a passing grade here, old friend. The Society can use the Gospels to draw out and spread the power of whatever this thing is. Spreading the influence of a mysterious force. No wonder the Society named them Gospels, that makes sense. In that case, the nature of this thing bothers me. As you said, even if it's an orbment out of our purest fiction, or... As far as that goes, I'm afraid I have no real clue. I've thought of a number of possibilities, but that would be pure speculation at this point. Now, Cassius, I will ask you the same question I asked you 10 years ago. We're in quite the pickle. What do you need me to do? The exact same words as when I asked you to develop the patrol airship. Well then? The key, I think, must lie in this warp the Gospel creates. Russell, can you develop some kind of plan or method of stopping the resonance, the spread? Thought you'd ask that. I'm just about done with my current invention anyway. I'll get to work as soon as I'm done with that. Okay. Oh yeah, I remember that restaurant. So unaware of prices. Oh, hi Estelle. Still walking around? I literally just started. Sorta, yeah. Oh, Tita, this is your first time in Bose, isn't it? Uh-huh. I've heard there's a really big store in Bose. I kind of want to see it. The Bose Market, yeah. Think of it like the department store in Grancel, but even bigger. It's actually a bunch of different stores all in one space. It's really busy. Wow, that sounds amazing. I hope we arrive in Bose soon. Oh, hers was very meh. Ah, Estelle, at last we return to Bose, the land laden with memories of our first meeting. It makes my heart swell to return to a place of such sweet nostalgia. Shocking as it may be, I kinda have to agree on the heart-swelling memories bit. Although, as I remember it, you were kind of rude back then. You said I wasn't attractive and made fun of me like a schoolboy. You misunderstand me, my fair Rose. I would only display such cute, bashful behavior in order to hide feelings of love unabated. Yeah, I'll bet that's it exactly. You sure didn't waste any time putting the moves on Shira, as I remember. Or Joshua. Well, putting that aside, as you stand now, your beauty is incomparable to what it was then. Yours is a supple, healthy beauty with a maiden's gentle virtue. Indeed, you have grown, Estelle. Oh, thank you. Though when you put it that way, it's kind of embarrassing. Please don't say it like that again. There's no shame to be had in virtue, Estelle. Still, you have but only begun to climb the ladder of adulthood. Should you wish to ascend even higher, I would be more than happy to assist you. No, thank you. If I was ever in a position to ask anyone about that sort of thing, I'd be a million times better off asking Shira. Ah, a pity. The things I could teach. Though Shira would be the one to... I'll remind you that I have a very large stick. That's what he said. Wow, Shira's the only one out here. Hello, Estelle. Hi, Shira. So this is where you went. Oh wait, do you want to be alone for a bit? Oh? This is unlike you, Estelle. Why so reserved? You want to ask about Luciola, right? Yeah. She says we met a long time ago, but I don't really remember her at all. I was wondering what she's like, and if you could jog my memory. Let's see, where to begin then? We have to begin with her stage name, I suppose. Luciola, the Bewitching Belle. She could show her audience illusions by dancing while using her bells and fans, thus bewitching them, you see. Hers was the centerpiece performance of our little circus troupe, the one that really brought the audiences in. Illusions. Does she use an ornament to make them? No, she used something she always called illusion magic, which is apparently some kind of very old, non-orbal art. Luciola was from a family with a tradition of working that art. Was? People who fall in with a traveling circus like ours tend to be one of two kinds. People who had cause to abandon their previous homes and families, or people who never had such things to begin with. Luciola was one of the former, and I was the latter. I was about 7 years old when Mr. Harvey and his band took me in. Back then, I was little more than a street urchin living in the slums of a city. Pickpocketing, petty theft, there was little I wouldn't do to try to survive. The ones who reached out a hand to me were the troupe's leader, Mr. Harvey, and Luciola. They taught me, the little girl who couldn't trust anyone, the warmth of the family. And they taught me all sorts of skills that would let me earn a place for myself in the troupe. Dancing, beast handling, tarot reading. Luciola taught me all of it. But then, 8 years ago, Mr. Harvey died in an accident. Without his leadership, we all just drifted apart and went on our ways. I'd been planning on staying with Luciola, but soon after Mr. Harvey died, she simply told me there is something I must do, and vanished. Hopeless and lost for the first time in years, I turned to the one remaining man in the world whom I still trusted. As you might suspect, that was Cassius, who had already begun working as a bracer. You know the rest, I imagine. So that's what happened. I had no idea you'd gone through something like that. The reason I aimed to become a bracer at first was to improve myself. I wanted to be able to live and prosper on my own, show Luciola just how far I'd come once she returned. But, well, it has been 8 years. Perhaps that was enough time to re-examine my reasons. Aw, don't make that face. Like Zin said, I don't intend to simply fight her without saying a word. I want to hear Luciola's story from her before doing anything. I have to know what possible reason could have made her associate with the society. Yeah, that sounds good. I've got your back, Shira. I'll do anything I can to help. I know I can always count on you. Still, you've grown quite a bit, haven't you, Estelle? What? That's kind of sudden. I always thought of you as being exactly what I'd expect of Cassius's daughter. I don't think that's quite right, or fair, anymore, though. What do you mean? Your strength isn't quite the same as Cassius's. Cassius has a heart as deep as the ocean, and strength like a relentless wave. But you, Estelle? Your strength is like the sun. You shine, and make others shine just by being near them. I think that's why people are attracted to you so easily. It's what I like the most about you. And I know Joshua felt the same way. I don't think you need to feel any pressure to live up to Cassius, is my point. Yeah. You really are my big Shira sister. I guess that works. You always know how to encourage me. Thanks. You're very welcome. I'm not saying you should return the favor, mind, but you really should drink with me sometime. Now that you're a full bracer, you'd better learn to handle your liquor. How is booze related to... You know what? Never mind. I don't want to know. Is something wrong, Agate? It's nothing. You still wandering around the ship? Yeah, basically. Oh, about earlier. Earlier? What do you mean? You know, when we were put to sleep in Mistwald. Did you see some kind of, dream too? Oh, I see. Sorry. Do you not want to talk about it? Nah, it's alright. Yeah, I saw a dream. It was nostalgic as hell, I'll say that much. You too, huh, Agate? So, you know, Estelle, you gotta work on your poker face and hiding you want to know stuff. Ain't good to be that easy to read. Anyway, it's just some silly memories of when I was a kid back home. I'm sorry about the eagerness. But yeah, now I remember. You're from Ravenou, right? In the Bose region? This'll be your first time back home in a while, then. It's been a little while, yeah. I did stop by the old place after the Queen's birthday celebration a while back, though. Hey, wait a second. Why are you assuming I'm going back home? Aw, don't be embarrassed, you big teddy bear. You've got a little sister back in Ravenou, right? You mentioned her once. No. You must be the biggest softie when it comes to her, huh? Hey. Oh yeah, where the heck in Ravenou is your house anyway? I don't remember meeting any girl who stood out as Agate's little sister when we were there investigating the Sky Bandits. There was a girl with Louis, but no, too young. And I figure your little sister's gotta have your hair. I'll introduce you to Misha soon. Assuming we have some reason to visit, anyway. Yeah, please do. And in that case, we'll have to bring Tita along, too. Why would we have to do that? Tita's kind of attached to you, in case you hadn't noticed. She'd be pretty let down if you didn't introduce her to your sister, you know? Oh, I get it. You don't want Misha and Tita to meet, Now I get it. They might get together and get in lots of trouble like Tita did with Ren. Or they might get jealous of each other. Being an older brother must be hard work. Oh, that's what you meant. Huh? Well, don't worry. I'll clean up any mess that happens. I've gotten pretty good at Tita herding. So you just go ahead and introduce those two, crazy kids, and I'll make sure nothing blows up. Yeah, thanks. I'll be counting on you for that. Oh, I know. We had to find you next to a tree. Oh, you jerk face. Oh, Estelle, have you been to Ravenou Village? Yep, I stopped there once on a job. That's Agate's hometown, right? Uh-huh. He has a little sister named Misha living there. Agate goes back pretty often, I think. At least once a year to say hello to her. Oh, right. Agate's little sister, huh? Must be hard for the poor girl having an antisocial lump for a brother. Estelle, that's not nice. Agate can be, blunt, but he's also really nice. Yeah. He's just kind of clumsy and easily embarrassed, to be honest. You know, I bet Misha's a really good person. Whenever Agate talks about her, his eyes turn so gentle. Tita, what's wrong? No, it's nothing. My heart just felt kind of weird for a bit. I wonder why. Somebody's a bit jealous of Misha, I bet. I know you have to talk to everybody like twice before it actually progresses, so I don't want to go upstairs just yet. Okay, I'm missing Chloe and Zin. Estelle, out for a walk again? More or less. More importantly, I'm sorry. I didn't really open up about Joshua until the very end. Don't worry. Still, that girl with Joshua is one of the Sky Bandits, isn't she? Yeah, she's a cheeky, insulting little punk by the name of Josette Kapua. She's also the single biggest tomboy I've ever laid eyes on. And people call me a tomboy sometimes. Pfft. I see. She does seem a bit charming from the photograph. She can be pretty cute if she keeps her mouth shut. And she did manage to play a perfect upper crust girl when we first met her, too. I'm sorry? I see. That is impressively dexterous, if I may say so. Well, it does make sense, since she's apparently former Erebonian nobility. Putting on a face like that is her specialty, I think. Peel away the layers, though, and, like I said, at the core she's a cheeky, classless little punk. Still, from what I've heard, I can't really find cause to hate her. I suspect that if we found a chance to talk, we might have quite a lot in common. Yeah, I can't see that happening. We'll slide off each other like oil and water. Personalities wouldn't fit. Trust me. Maybe. Oh, Estelle. Good work this time. You're really growing as a bracer. I'm still kind of a newbie, I think. Like, I'm not even remotely as good with my staff as Dad. Well, I don't think you should worry about Master Cassius much. An S-rank bracer is a master of their profession to a degree that they attain the unity of purpose all martial artists seek, after all. To be honest, I don't think I could attain such enlightenment even if I spent my whole life trying. I see. I gotta admit, it's kind of hard for me to understand how incredible my dad is, but... Actually, Zin, you mentioned the whole unity of purpose idea to Chloe back at the castle. What exactly does that mean? Yeah, I did. It's kind of tough to explain, to be honest. Well, here goes. Master Cassius was once such a transcendent master of the sword, he was given the title of Divine Blade. Today, though, he can wield the staff just as easily as the sword he spent his life training with. Why do you think that is? He practices really hard? That's part of it, sure. But more than that, it is because he could instantly understand and relate the nature of staff combat to his previous experience. Something beyond what we call skill, above practicing forms and reflexes, above muscle memory. Think of it as a mental state where one can grasp the true nature of all things and control them at will. The whole concept is what we refer to as unity of purpose. The true nature of all things, huh? His plan to push back the Imperial Army during your war was the same, I bet. He understood the nature of war, of combat, so intrinsically, so instinctively, that he was able to construct the plan he did. There would be no one more fearsome as a foe. I get it, I think. But that means that even my supposedly enlightened dad was beaten in some ways by the society. During the coup, he was lured out of the country, for starters. Yeah, they almost certainly possess someone equal to Master Cassius. It's hard to know if it's whoever Lo is or this professor, though. Could it be the guy we know as Lawrence? He was pretty powerful. I don't know. He is incredibly skilled, sure, but I doubt he can match up to Master Cassius. Besides, his chi, his soul, they did not have unity of purpose, not in the way I have spoken of. He is a blade, sharpened in one specific way by the coldest frost, tempered to perfection, untouched by anyone. That is the sense I got of him in the arena, at least. Yeah, I get what you mean. He hasn't shown himself, but I figure he's got to be up to something. He did seem to have some kind of fixation on Joshua. It wouldn't surprise me if they know each other from Joshua's days in the society. Between him, me, and Shirazard, we've all got some strange ties in our past to this group. I wonder if this is the guidance of she who dwells above? Oh, Chloe, you were put to sleep with us back there. Did you have some kind of dream? I did. It was during the 100 Days War. During the war? Oh, I see. That's when you were with Matron Teresa. Yes, I was in the care of Matron Teresa during the fighting. We lived together for some time. And... what's wrong? It's just that, even though it was set 10 years ago, Clem and Jill both showed up. If I had stayed in the dream long enough, perhaps even you and Joshua might have appeared. Well, that's a dream for you. Coherence not guaranteed. Very. Still, in hindsight, it was a little frightening. In the dream, I was happy. Very, very happy. I wanted everything to stay that way from the bottom of my heart. But that isn't right, is it? Simply wishing to escape reality in that way? Yeah, I know what you mean. It's always nice to have a happy dream, sure. But yeah, if you asked if I wanted to see that dream again, I'd be a little hesitant. The dangers of the gospel. I feel like we've gotten a real hint of them. Oh, don't worry, I'm sure we'll be at the gate. Everyone, hello! Good work out there in Rolent. Silver Streak, the Heavy Blade, the Immovable, and our Rising Star Rookie all together. Brings a tear to my eye, it does. Rising Star Rookie? You, of course. You're a little walking miracle who's managed to stop the society in 4 different regions. That's been the gossip anyway. You've got to be kidding. Saying I stopped anything is overstating it more than a little. They just ran off once their experiments were done. You did handle yourself well in the Rolent case, Estelle. Don't sell yourself too short. I think you can be a little bit proud. Yeah, but that was just, a bunch of coincidences coming together, and... no need to get so embarrassed. You just need to live up to your reputation is all. Yeah, thanks, Zin. You make that sound like a cakewalk. Anyway, all that aside, what's the situation like here in Bose? There's been no sign of society whatsoever. No surprise, I suppose. Since the Sky Bandits were caught, the army's been patrolling the region pretty heavily. One thing sticks out, though. There have been a few too many dangerous monsters prowling around here these days. Really? You know, I noticed that the last time I was here. Bose seems to usually have more wanted monsters than any other regions. Why is that? Most of it comes down to Bose being huge and filled with rough terrain. Makes it common to see monsters come down from the less inhabited areas. Thing is, though, we've had 10 cases just since the beginning of the month. 10? That is a lot. I'm guessing that's kept Sting and the rest of the crew busy. Yes, and Kurt's team stopped by the other day to slay several of them. Be in your debt if you could take care of a few of them for us as well. That strikes me as a good course of action. It's possible the society is involved with this. Yeah, and they could hurt someone if we just leave them alone, so we should get out there and take them down. Oh, Agate, what's wrong? Yeah, what's up? You're really quiet. Nah, it's nothing. Anyway, let's get out there and bring back some monster heads. Mayor! Mayor Maybell and Lila. Good day. Stell, it's so good to see you again. I'm glad to see you are well. Wow, it's seriously been forever. I think we last met at the Queen's birthday celebrations, right? Yes, it feels as though it's been ages. I've been hearing all about your exploits in the news though, Estelle. That goes for everyone else as well. I'm glad to see you all safe. Especially you, Chloe. Are you on school break already? I, ended up taking a little time off early. It's good to see you again, Maybell. Huh? You two seem, pretty familiar. Well, Maybell used to be a student at the academy. We met before she graduated. And I'm certainly glad we met too. I see. And Agate Crossner. It has been some time, sir. I suppose so. Hang on. Agate, Mayor Maybell, you know each other? Oh my, yes. I've relied on Mr. Crossner a number of times for various jobs only he could do. And 10 years ago, hey, Mayor. I forgot myself. Pardon me. Regardless, I simply wished to stop by today to welcome you back. From the sound of things, you're pursuing an international crime syndicate which threatens the safety of the entire country. An international crime syndicate? Sometimes they feel more like a society of supervillains, but that's one way to think of them, yes. So far as the city of Bose is concerned, the threat these criminals pose is not someone else's problem, it's everyone's. If I can do anything to assist you in your investigation, anything at all, you only need to ask. Thanks. If we need help, we'll definitely ask. We'll be expecting a lot from you, Mayor. Excellent. Now I'm afraid I must excuse myself here. Should anything come up, please come visit me at my residence. Come on, Agate. Couldn't you have been a little more civil? It's who I am. We ain't running a butler service here. Give me a break. Agate can be kind of arrogant to people sometimes. He's usually polite towards clients, though. You were kind of short with the mayor, Agate. You're imagining things. More to the point, I remember talking about us bringing back some monster heads. Lugren, give us the breakdown. Right. We have 3 cases outstanding. First, there's a blade fang stalking around the Crone Pass. We've also got a ghost epitaph in the Nettle Valley. And finally, an octobone raising hell at the Ambril Tower. Okay, got those written down. Alright, monster slaying's the perfect task for my greatsword. I'll be taking charge this time around. Huh? Well, you are a Bose native, my good heavy blade. You're probably the best suited out of all of us. I have no objections. Decided then. Go ahead and pick us a team, Estelle. You're being suspiciously gung-ho about this, you know.
You're right, please.
Together now.
Okay, so if we're going all over the region to find these wanted monsters, since we're out, why don't we stop at Ravenue Village? Pretty sure I made this clear on the flight over. We'll visit Ravenue after we're done with our work here in Bose. You unfeeling clod. Agate has the right of it, I think. Or would you want to go and leave our Tita behind? Oh, right. Gotta bring Tita. Do you have to agree just because of that? Yes. Yes, she does. Okay. Okay, so at the hotel. Missing young lady. And this one. I think I already have all of those, but... Alright, so we're gonna stop this one here, and then in the next episode, we will start walking around the town, checking out the citizens and the shops and all that stuff that I normally do first, and then we might pick up those side quests and start working on all of that stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you have a wonderful day. I will see you next time.